Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's wonderful to see such a huge turnout once again. And before I move on with my speech, I have to say, Stephen, there is nothing wrong with your brain. I think it works perfectly. It has shown to be like that over the past years. It's always a pleasure to attend Arctic Frontiers and to be with the whole Arctic family, so to speak. I was here last year for the first time as a foreign minister. And as many of you know, Tromsø was my hometown for 10 formative years. And being in Tromsø is always like being home. So when I spoke to my chief of staff on the phone this morning, the first question she asked was, how is it to be at home? And I said, it's nice, it's fine. But it's no coincidence that the Arctic today is a region that is characterized by peace, stability, and international cooperation. It is a result of political choices, and I think that is important to underline in this day and age. It is something that we have worked hard to achieve. It is something that we will work hard to maintain. It is hard work and continuous engagement from all the Arctic states, both bilaterally, but also regionally. The Arctic remains naturally on top of the agenda for Norway. A considerable part of our population, about 10% of our population, lives here. This is not a desolate, icy place. It's sometimes cold, yes, but it's fully possible to live, to grow, to expand, to learn by living here. And this region also contributes significantly to the economy of Norway. And when I meet my colleagues, whether I was a defense minister or now as a foreign minister, I always present a map turned upside down. And the reason I do that is to make people aware of the fact that these areas are vast, they are interconnected, and to put the region at the center, instead of then looking from south to north, I urge people to look from north to south. It gives a completely different perspective. And it's interesting what kind of discussions it entails. The fact that we are 5 ministers attending the Arctic Frontiers this year is also a testament to the importance we attach to the Arctic region. But it's also a way of explaining the enormous span our High North policies have. We are kicking off also our work with the new white paper on Arctic policies. It will be presented to the Parliament in the autumn of 2020, and it will outline the government's ambitions for a strong and innovative region. I look forward to the broad dialogue that we are already having with local and regional actors on priorities and on goals, and I want that to continue. Ladies and gentlemen, our collaboration with our Arctic neighbors enables us to pursue common interests, but also to solve cross-border challenges. For more than 20 years, the Arctic Council has served as a key international arena for discussion and collaboration on Arctic issues. The Council provides also a platform for addressing cross-border issues in the region. It has been instrumental in developing new knowledge on climate change in the Arctic, and it's been setting the agenda when it comes to discussing opportunities, but also challenges in the Arctic. The Arctic Council has also facilitated negotiation of 3 important legally binding agreements between the 8 Arctic states. It's an agreement on search and rescue, on marine oil pollution preparedness and response, and on scientific cooperation. And they all highlight areas where cross-border cooperation is the only way forward. Under the steady guidance of Finland's current chairmanship, the Arctic Council will present its first strategic plan at the ministerial meeting in Finland this May. It will be an important milestone in the Council's work, and it will help ensure that the Council can deal with effectively the future demands and challenges. In October, Norway will be proud to assume the chairmanship of the Barents Euro-Atlantic Council. It has been a cornerstone of regional cooperation since 1993. We will use our chairmanship to continue developing our relations with our Nordic neighbors and with Russia. The close involvement of local and regional governments and actors in North Norway will be crucial to achieving these goals. Ladies and gentlemen, Norway and Russia have a broad and long-standing cooperation in the Arctic. It continues despite that we have disagreement on other issues. And our dialogue in the Arctic Council and also in the Barents Euro-Atlantic Council is constructive, but it's also supplemented by day-to-day bilateral cooperation in areas such as fisheries, environmental issues, nuclear safety, search and rescue, to mention just a few. We also have fisheries, and we also now have a very promising dialogue with Russia when it comes to marine litter in the Barents Sea and ocean issues in general. Our experience from these bilateral processes provides useful input to our multilateral cooperation in the Arctic. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Lisa, I'm very glad to see that you are able to be here today. That was not a given, since the government in the US is shut down at the moment, or parts of it. But it's so good to see you here because you have a long-standing engagement in the region and in these issues. We share, between our two countries, a very close transatlantic bond. We share many of the same positions on Arctic issues, and just to mention a couple of them, sustainable resource development as maybe the highlight of it. And this is vital for maintaining job opportunities and vibrant communities in the region. We also see increasing cooperation between academia and businesses in the north of Norway and in Alaska. And they commute back and forth, and they have a lot of cooperation, and we think this is very fruitful. It's a welcome expansion of our bilateral relationship with the US. But there is also growing interest in the Arctic from outside actors. And it is, I would say, regularly on the agenda when I meet colleagues from around the world. And we value this dialogue. We need to increase the global understanding of the impacts of climate change in the Arctic and the way the global emissions are creating the dramatic changes that we can see here in the north. Many countries have leading research expertise and capacities in this area, and they provide valuable input to the work of the Arctic Council. And the excellent research cooperation between Norwegian and several Asian countries on polar issues is also something I would like to mention. Some of the most dramatic effects of climate change in the Arctic are seen in the oceans. Our future depends on clean and healthy oceans. And that is also why the Prime Minister took the initiative to establish a high-level panel on sustainable ocean economy. It consists of 12 serving heads of state. Norway will host the Our Ocean Conference in October this year. And in August last year, the Prime Minister opened the important and strategic part of the government's focus on the oceans, the Center for the Arctic and the Oceans here in Tromsø. Ladies and gentlemen, let me close by saying that recent history has shown us that we cannot take international cooperation for granted. Today's challenges require more cooperation, not less. And this is exactly Norway's approach to the Arctic. The Arctic Council, the Barents Euro-Arctic Council, and other regional forums, as well as our extensive bilateral cooperation, will remain key to securing a stable and prosperous Arctic governed by international law. Rarely has the world been in stronger need of inspiration and evidence that international cooperation works. Let us show the world, through examples from the Arctic, that multilateral cooperation is in our common interest. I thank you for the attention, and I do hope that you, at some point during these couple of days, have the opportunity to take in just a piece of Tromsø. I feel now like I'm an agent for some travel company or agency. I might be. But if you have an opportunity, a chance at all, to see the Northern Lights, to go around, to feel the city, I recommend you to do so. And we will see each other several times through the day. Thank you very much.